drainage system. Why drainage system is so important for the country of the Netherlands? Because 45% of this country is below sea level. So if we don't keep this system running, we will probably swimming all the time. But I'm sorry, it's yeah. But have you ever imagined how much energy does one drinking station cost? Let me tell you the truth, it's 1 million kilowatts per year. And have you ever had an idea how many stations we have in the Netherlands? Sensible ones, 300 of them. And how much energy we spend each year? Let's have a look. 300 of them, if we are able to save 1% of the energy. That would be 3 million kilowatts of energy, and that costs roughly, according to last year's data, 210,000 euros. And let's have a look how the system works. Well, there are two very important factors determines why the water level has to be kept in limits. One is the seepage, and another one is the rainfall. Unfortunately, we cannot send back the rain to the sky, and we cannot push back the water back to the ground. So the only thing we can do actually is to transfer the water into the river. And by really good timing, we can predict the weather very easily, open data. We can predict the river height. And research have shown that 2 meters in height of the river level can create 10% of energy saving. So we think if we combine all these factors, combine one control system, we will be able to, with a very limited cost, to create a new system to save the energy. And what's even better is actually here, we can negotiate to use off-peak time, to choose the best time, real best time to run these stations, be able to save energies. And with our idea, we think conservatively 5% of annual saving on these savings, and that would be 15 million of kilowatts of energy saving. And in the end, let's have a look, 1 million euro per year. We were talking about how hard it is to persuade the government officials to accept your new idea, to change their current system. Tell them 1 million euros. I think it would be persuading. Well, this time, timing is your money. Thank you very much. Any questions?
What did he say? Just said any question you have over the mic. Nothing special.
Surely you have a question.
Thank you for your presentation. I have actually two questions, and maybe it's not allowed, but still I try to get you. You mentioned a number of numbers which I tried to write down, but you mentioned the first time too, the 10,000 euros per year savings. Do you think that's, and later on you mentioned of course a higher number, 1 million per year, but that's not that much money to make an investment and to have a business case to develop this on it. That's the first one. And the second one is if you go to an open source, and especially with dikes and preventing and overflooding, don't you think that the risk of terrorist acts interfering with your system with more knowledge and more open source, that the gains to be saved, or limited gains, can outweigh the risk of overflooding, which has a higher impact on the community?
Can I ask?
Of course, that's absolutely no problem, because the current system already works. And what we propose is not something that replaces any current hardware. So attack wouldn't result in spontaneous flooding, it would only result in a system that becomes less efficient. And about the business case, it's mainly software that has to be written and good algorithms that have to be found out. And that's intellectual property, and it's very difficult to put a price tag on that. But the million per year is a lot of money, and if it's not too much work for the engineers to make it, then I would say that's a reasonable business case. I just that answers both questions.
Okay, with this cool ending of the first round,